So here we are in the Overleaf LaTeX editor, and let's just go through a little bit what we're seeing here. So on the left hand side is the editor, so this is where you're going to type in all of your LaTeX code, and on the right side is a view of what your document will look like in PDF format. So this is where it is compiled. And then on the very left here is the area where you're going to have some files and maybe folder structure here. This is where we're actually going to create a few folders in a minute. And so when you are creating your document, you're going to be putting in all your LaTeX code over here, and then you're going to compile it by either clicking this green button at the top, or you can hit Control S, which is usually save. So you can just, that saves your document, and when you do that, it compiles it over here on the right hand side. And it's saved online. So you don't have to have files stored on your hard drive. It's all saved in Overleaf in this online editor. So let's start first by going over here to the left, and I want to create a few folders here. This is just going to set up our document, and I know that our document's pretty short, so we really don't need to do this, but I want to show you just how to do it because it really helps to organize your content. So if you look over here, this little icon here, this is new file, and this is new folder. And this is upload, if we're going to upload something like images, which we'll get to later. So first let's create a new folder, and we're going to call this folder front. Now I'm just going to use lowercase letters here because it doesn't really matter, it's just easier to type. And never use any spaces when you're creating folders and file names in LaTeX. And what's going to be stored in here are things like a title page, maybe you want to have a dedication or a preface or something like that if it was more like a book. But this is where we're going to put all the front matter. And then we're going to create another folder called main. Hit create. And this will be the main body of your document. So this will have all the different sections that you're going to have in the main area. And then the last folder we're going to create here, well, second last actually, is back. So this will have all the back matter in it, such as bibliography, things like that. And then we're going to create one more folder, and we're going to call this images. And this is where we're going to upload all the images from the example document that we'll get to in a little bit. So this is where they're going to be stored, and then LaTeX will know where they are. So they're going to be in this folder, and it will then call them from this location. Okay, so we have all those folders created now. And you notice how this main text, this is outside the folder list. That's what you want, because this is like your main document. This is your main file. This is the file that's going to set up your whole document, and it's going to call all these other aspects of your content. So it's going to call the front matter, it's going to call all the main matter, the back matter, and it's going to put it all together. This just helps organize everything so it's easier to find. So let's just go now to the start of your document. So the document class is article. We're going to stick with that for this example because it is really an article on the composition of the sun. And the title here is already input because that was our file name. And this is my username, so I'm going to take this out. So if you want to edit your author name, I'm just going to say Heather. And we'll leave the date. You can change the date if you want. And we're going to leave everything else for now. And then I'm just going to hit Control S, so you're going to just see that change on the right-hand side. And now you can see it says Heather instead. So that's all for this little video. And when we come back, we're going to get more into what this is all about here and add some more packages. So the way LaTeX works is we use several packages that will contain certain code that we can then input and create the features of our document and get it to compile the way we want.